Hey fam, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Javonnejay, and I'm a California native who moved to Thailand to teach English and immerse myself in Thai culture. I posted to my stories a little over a week ago now that if you had any questions for the Q&A to submit them, so we're going to dive into them. And some of them were actually questions that I got in my DMs that I just haven't gotten back to, so if that's you, I'm sorry, but I will be answering you right now. I figured it would make more sense to just put them all in a Q&A because I figured that some of the questions might be things that other people might be curious about. And also I have a little bit of a life update for you, so stay tuned for that. Okay, I'll be looking down at my laptop occasionally just to pull up the questions. So this question says, where do you see yourself living after Thailand? Ooh, honestly, I'm not sure because Thailand has been a dream of mine for a long time now. So now that I'm here, it's just like, oh my gosh, I finally, I did it, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. After Thailand, I know I don't plan on living here forever. I want to explore more of the world and I do want to be able to live in other countries, not just visit. I'm definitely interested in visiting Japan, Vietnam, Cambodia. To be honest, I've always wanted to live in South America, so like Colombia. South America is much closer to North America than Thailand is, or Asia, but here we are. I think it would make more sense logistically to live in countries that are on this side of the world first and then make my way back west. So we'll see. Okay, another question I got was actually from my DMs. They sent this to me a few days ago, actually. This one was actually in relation to my bankruptcy. So if you don't know, if you are new here, or if you didn't watch my From Broke to Bangkok Part 1 video, I did share that I did file bankruptcy last year, 2024. It was honestly one of the best decisions I've ever made just because I was in such a deep financial bind that I knew I could not get out of, especially at that point in my life. But their question was particularly about student loans. My main question is about college debt. I wasn't sure if bankruptcy would be an option for those loans. I'm working on paying stuff off, but I'm planning to move to Taiwan for the second time and was just curious. Did you have student loan debt or just credit card debt? Okay, so yeah, I did have credit card debt and student loan debt. So I did file Chapter 7 is what made the most sense for me. Unfortunately, with bankruptcy, student loans are not forgiven. That's one of the few debts that is not forgiven. So I did file my own bankruptcy. I actually used a website called upsolve.org. I'll link it in the description if that's something that you're interested in. It made it so much easier to file on my own. I didn't need a lawyer or anything like that, and you're able to do it completely for free, which is great. There's such a negative connotation with filing bankruptcy, and I think that stigma needs to stop. There are billionaires, literal billionaires, that have filed bankruptcy many times. We are just your average Joe, you know, we are working class citizens. We're not millionaires and billionaires, and we weren't born into wealth, you know. So if you need help and you're not able to, you know, pay your debts, file bankruptcy. So what? Some people might think otherwise. I don't care. I don't regret my decision. I breathed the biggest sigh of relief after those debts were gone. So yeah, if that's what you got to do, do that. I got another Instagram question, and it looks like this one is about teaching. So they asked, did you come up with the lesson plans prior to moving to Thailand or after? As far as lesson plans are concerned, if you're going to be teaching in Thailand or pretty much anywhere really, that's going to depend largely on, are you being hired directly through the school or are you being hired via an agency? If you're being hired via an agency, most of the times, not always, but most of the time, they will provide a lesson plan for you. So you don't have to worry about that. But that's something that you would already know going into it, right? So if you signed up for an agency, you would already know up front if you're expected to have lesson plans. Or they already have books that they're working on that they're going to be learning the material from. It would just depend on when you're joining and when you're expected to have your lesson plans by. So even if you aren't with an agency that does provide lesson planning, you're not going to be expected on day one to have a lesson plan ready for them. They are going to give you time to come up with those things, and you would have to get those approved by your higher ups before you're able to actually teach the material. So you did not have to come up with the lesson plans beforehand, no. Hey fam, just a quick heads up, I just launched the J Fam, which is my YouTube membership. So if you've been enjoying my content and you want to support the channel even more, now you can. You can officially join the fam for just $3.99 a month. You'll get perks like loyalty badges, custom emojis, exclusive updates, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. So if that's something you're interested in, just hit that join button below. Alright, back to the video. I got another question about apparel, how you should dress in Thailand. The question is, how should I dress in Thailand? Is there a certain way that may or may not be accepted or allowed? Yes and no. So it all depends on where you are. Generally speaking, the way people dress in Thailand is quite relaxed and fairly casual. I mean, you'll see shorts, a skirt, pants. However, what I will say is there's a time and a place for everything. So as far as if you're visiting a sacred space, like say a temple, for example, you are required to cover your shoulders and your knees. So something like what I'm wearing right now would not be acceptable. A lot of the times they'll have a shawl that you can purchase or rent while you're in there just to cover your shoulders. Same with if you're wearing like a short skirt or anything that's exposing your the bottom half of your legs from your kneecaps down. They'll give you like a sarong to put on, or they'll give you a pair of like chang pants, which are elephant pants, which I'm actually wearing right now, but I don't feel like standing up. Generally, you can dress the way you would dress wherever you are currently, but just when you are in a temple or if you are in a professional space, you're expected to dress as such. We are expected to, quote unquote, dress smart. They want to see men in button-ups and, dress pants. Women are expected to wear dresses and skirts that cover their knee. But for the most part, like just walking down the street, you'll see people wearing all kinds of things. You want to be more mindful when you're in a professional or a more religious setting. So yeah. I got another question. It says, I'm plus sized. Do you think it will be harder for me in Thailand? I am not plus sized, so I can't speak to the experience of someone who is. However, I will say, well, I won't say a lot of malls, but there are some malls here that do have a dedicated section for plus size clothing. And I don't know if you're just talking about clothing or if you're talking about treatment. As far as treatment is concerned, again, that is not my experience, so I can't speak on that. But I've never like blatantly seen somebody like point at somebody who's plus size and like start laughing at them or anything like that. My view on this is very limited because it's not my lived experience, so I don't know that I'm the best person to ask for that. But yeah, I will say that the clothes are available, but they're just not as readily available as quote unquote normal or regular size clothing would be. But yeah, as far as like how you'll be treated in society, you're not going to be ostracized for being plus size, but because the average Thai woman or Asian woman tends to be rather petite and thin, and that is, unfortunately, there is a Eurocentric beauty standard out here, which is a whole conversation in and of itself, not even just talking about size, but like skin tone and things like that. That is valued and seen as more desirable. But again, I don't necessarily feel like I'm the best person to ask about that because it's not my lived experience. But yeah, hopefully that somewhat helped. What are you most appreciative of right now? I love that question. Thank you so much for asking. And I think they put like little hugging emojis after that. Thank you. Hugs back to you. Yeah, what am I most appreciative of right now? I'm appreciative of so much. Every morning I wake up and I give gratitude, and before I go to bed, I give gratitude. I don't take anything for granted. I don't take anything for granted, especially because this time last year I was homeless. So I don't take anything for granted at all. I'm so grateful to be living in my dream country. And honestly, it's all of it. I don't know if that sounds corny or whatever, but honestly, I don't take. Ooh, I'm getting emotional. Nope. I've already cried on this channel once. I'm not doing it again. um, but yeah, I'm honestly appreciative of everything. I'm appreciative of you all for watching, tuning in every time I post, and always commenting and sending DMs and like just everything. My birthday was in April, and when I made my birthday post, I just felt so much love from you all. And yeah, it's just, I'm appreciative of everything. I'm appreciative of this opportunity, being able to live here and share my experiences with you all and help you all in any capacity that I can. And yeah, just having like this different outlook on life and just exploring so many different things and being a part of this culture that has welcomed me with open arms. And yeah, it's been amazing. I appreciate all of it. Thank you so much for that question. So, life update. I have been getting a couple of questions. If you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen that I am working at a new school. Yes, that is correct. I'm working at a different school. I'm actually with a different agency now. So the agency, if you watched my video, my like day in the life of video, me showing you like what it's like being an English teacher as a foreigner and things like that. I'm no longer with that company. My contract was just from October to March. So I was kind of a free agent over the summer, seeing what my options were. I enjoy my job. I think I'm a great teacher. I think I'm great with the students. I was just looking for something a bit more. One of the things I mentioned in my pros and cons of teaching video, many times they'll provide lesson plans for you, which is great for work-life balance because obviously once you're off work or when you're not teaching, you don't have to worry about coming up with a lesson plan. I want to feel like I'm making more of an impact. So I don't feel like I got the real teacher experience because I wasn't creating lesson plans. I was literally just reading off of slides, which again, it's a pro and a con depending on how you look at it, right? But I don't know. I just want to be able to put more of my spin on things in class. And you're very limited with that when you already have a lesson plan done for you. Also, let's be real, money played a factor as well. The money was decent. It was definitely livable for me, but I just wanted something that was making a bit more money. So yeah, thankfully I was able to find something with a new agency. I am making more money, so I'm grateful for that. It is an all-girls school, so I'm actually really excited about that. Just to have, I don't know, the energy already feels different on campus. Like with the boys, I hate to stereotype, but with the boys, there's just like a lot of roughhousing, a lot of like, they're kind of chaotic, especially at that age. They're just kind of chaotic. Not all of them, of course, but I noticed a lot of the behavioral issues I had with students. 9 times out of 10 were the boys. That was just my experience. Also, my workload is very light. Technically, I only teach 5 classes, but I teach those classes twice a week. Whereas at my previous school, I was teaching 22 classes, 35 to 40 students per class. With this school, I'm teaching no more than 30 students. So yeah, that's what, 150 students versus almost 800. So, you know, with my previous school, I'll be honest, I wasn't able to learn all of their names. By the end of the semester, I knew maybe 20 names, which is awful. That is an awful ratio. And I felt bad because I'm just pointing to them and like, yes, you answer, you know. And I don't want that. I want to be able to actually form a connection with my students and know their names and also be able to be more fluid with my teaching style. I am still receiving DMs from people who are wanting referrals from my previous agency. Obviously, I can't do that now that I don't work there. If you're really curious what the agency was, if you watch my teaching video, here's your hint. On pretty much every slide you see, the name of the agency is on every slide. So there's your answer. I don't know. I'm just excited for this change in dynamic, and it feels like an upgrade. It feels like a major upgrade. And yeah, that's basically my major life update. Is I am still teaching, but just teaching with a different agency, and now at an all-girls high school, which is really exciting for me. Yeah, so that's it for the questions. Of course, if you have any questions, you're welcome to slide in my DMs, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.